Hello everybody and welcome back to Green River with Chainsaw 100. So yeah, I don't know if everybody's aware, but he is actually recording a time-lapse video as well, so please do check out his channel. The link is down below in the description. Anyway, today we're going to be very busy. We actually have most of the machines out in the field because we left them going on a worker. They were effectively sort of ploughing. I know they're subsoiling, but it acts as ploughing in Farming Simulator, so they were actually adding the extra bonus for that, and also removing the red mask which is on the minimap. But there are other ways of removing that, as other people have said. I'm going to put that away in a second, but what I need to do is just very quickly put a divide in this field here with a paintbrush, because it's going to be like a very, very small agroforest. Now I did this once before in probably FS15, a long time ago. So it just wants to be a very small divide. Ooh, wants to be as straight as possible. Going on for a little bit, but I can deal with that. I think it's because my camera isn't quite square. Okay, so that is just basically to show Chainsaw that is the area which must not be drilled with the rest of the field. Okay, yeah, so just two square widths. Make it nice and tidy. Oh no. Well, not to worry, I can get rid of that. Okay, so he's over at the top of the field putting in some sunflowers. There we go. I'll neaten it off. And this is effectively going to be an agroforest. So yeah, let's just go and put this back away. And we actually do have two subsoils, I think. It is useful if you are wanting to effectively plough a field. But if you're not wanting to, it's a very slow method. Right, so that can go just there. We do have a fent out in the fields as well. There we go. Fent favorite. It's got a 3 metre on it instead of a 4. I think it probably would have been able to run the 4 metre, but just, you know, to add a bit of realism and to prevent the tractor from straining too much, I put the 3 on it, because these things do require quite a bit of power. So yeah, before I actually do this agroforestry, I need to give those cows some straw. Now the cows have made it here safe and well from Lonoke. You will be very pleased to hear. Most of my viewers did actually vote to have them brought across. I agree, I think it was definitely the best option, because otherwise we would have been working our way back up towards getting more cows, and then by the time we had done that it would be time to change maps again. So definitely the right choice. I think 1 in 10 was the odds of people who did want the cows to be transported. Okay, so I have my rear weight. I've also just bought a feed mixer in preparation for when we have to do some feed mixing, or if we have to use that to effectively shred these bales. We might be able to just give it to them. I actually don't know where the place is to do that though. It's probably there, I would say, on the left hand side. If this doesn't work, then yeah, I'll have to go and get it. We'll be getting it anyway. Okay, yeah, I really wouldn't have expected it to work. We might not even be able to use the mixer, we might have to shred it. Now that feed mixer was actually funded by the Fent tractor. It was so expensive. It was the second, actually it was the smallest. It was the smallest Anderson mixer. They are super expensive. But they're good, and they're quite big. The capacity is not bad at all. So anyway, here it is, waiting for us. Yeah, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to get away with just putting the bales into here. I know really it should be shredded, but we can only use what we've got. In the future we'll use the telehandlers for this. But for now, that's very good. So have I chosen the correct place? Let's just see. I really hope I have. Here we go. So that's good. That's working nicely. So that means that we can just keep using this. You can see it's filling up. But it would obviously be more realistic to use the bale shredder. But yeah, this is fine. So that's that. I think they'll probably require more. But yeah, as you can see, that is fulfilling their requirement for now. So the focus is going to have to be for the food later, but they actually have plenty. So anyway, that can stay there. And now what I want to do is focus on my agroforestry. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky just because of the way it is. We effectively have a section of crop, then a line of trees, then a section of crop in here. It's not a big area because it is a little bit complicated, but it should be good. That is the plan. So to do this, I am going to have a smaller drill. This is just going to be leased because otherwise it's going to be just an unnecessary expense. So if I just very quickly get this sorted out off screen, it should then be quite an effective process, hopefully. Perfect, not too big, just 3 meters, which is very small, but you'll see the reasons behind this in a minute or two. So we'll actually go on this tractor. It should be fine on this tractor, hopefully. I'll put the rear weight at the front, which I can do, that's good. Let's just take this off first. And the front loader. And then it'll be time to fill it up. I think one thing which I should definitely get installed on the server is the placeable seed refill point, because it is easier. At the moment I don't have them installed, so we have to just keep buying the big bags. In fact, no, I won't do that. It's easier to buy the big pallets. You get much more. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we can also do fertilizer, which is nice, but I'm not too sure if fertilizer will apply since we've just done the muck spreading. But it's worth a go. I can try it, and if it turns out that it's not working, then I just don't have to refill it, because there's no point in paying for fertilizer you're not going to use. So there we go. As for whether or not this tractor's going to have the power for this, I don't know. Just going to try it. In the future, all of the groundwork is going to be done with the big case tractor. But at the moment, we're just sort of doing a few smaller jobs. So that's why we're using the smaller tractors. So this is going to involve swapping between grass and a crop, which is going to be a bit tricky, but I should be able to do it hopefully. Okay, so I was just fitting the GPS to this tractor here, which I've done, but then Chainsaw finished his job, so he's now attached to it. He's going to do 2 headlands, and then we're going to go up and down. My plan is to have 3 lines of crop and then 1 line of grass, and this will become very clear in a minute, but it has to be nice and straight. That's the thing. If it's not straight, it doesn't look very good. So it should effectively be at the end 9 meters of a crop, 3 meters of grass with trees in it, 9 meters of crop, 3 meters of trees. That's how it should work. So I'm going to go and get the tree planter. I shouldn't need that many trees, but it is going to be the case of getting a few crates. So I'm just going to go and sort myself out off screen, and then I'll be back and we'll get those trees put in. What have I missed? Let's see. Not too much actually. It's not time for me just yet, but this is the tricky part. This is going to be very tricky. I've got to know where the line of grass is, so I'm going to have to refer to the map to see, because obviously the field itself will look exactly the same. I should be able to work it out though by counting the amount of times it's been across, but yes, by keeping an eye on here we should be able to see where some grass has been put in. So it's a challenge, but hopefully it's going to be okay. I think probably the easiest thing to do would have been to put the grass in first, but anyway, not to worry. Okay, so this is going to be the grass one. That is grass. So I need to have this positioned as much in the centre as possible. I have set up GPS, but I'm not very good with it, so here we go. Let's just see what happens. I think I'm... oh no, I've not set it up perfectly straight, have I? Well, actually, no, that's not too bad, but it could be better. I'm just keeping on those wheels. Yes, I am drifting. I'm drifting a bit. I might have to recalibrate. But no, that should be okay for that one. I should hopefully be in the middle of the grass there, with a bit of luck. Yes, yes, I am within the 3 meters there, so that should be fine. So this is it. This is what happens, and when it grows, it's going to look even more interesting. Probably not a bad thing that I was a little bit further in. The drill does get very close. So anyway, I need to stop around there, because that is a headland. We don't put trees on the headland. And that used 35% of the crate, which is quite a lot. Anyway, I'll now wait for the next row. Just looking down it, it doesn't look too bad. But you can see that this tree here, or this sapling here, is a little bit further in than that one there, and then gradually we do end up much further. But it could be far worse. Probably not a bad thing that the Axion became available. This tractor might have been a little bit too small. We have another grass one to do. But this time I'm going to have to go back over to the store to get another crate. Anyway, I'm going to stick it on a time lapse, and by the end of it the field will have been completed. Well, it's almost finished, and well, it should look good, hopefully, just providing I've actually stayed in the lines. I think one way of doing this in the future, an easier way of doing it, would either be to put the grass in first, like I mentioned before, or to use the painting tool to put the grass in, because that would probably work quite nicely. Let's just see here, I got to there, didn't I? Yeah, because I put this grass in here, as you saw at the beginning of the episode, and it actually looks pretty good, except for where I went off a little bit. I'm going to have to get a plough to tidy that up, but a temporary measure just to put a bit of soil texture down. There we go. Right, let's finish off these trees. Unfortunately I didn't quite get to the end, which is really frustrating. It means buying 20 more saplings for about 6 trees, and also it's £1,000 for 20 saplings. That's crazy. These in real life would be worth, well, bare roots, they'd be worth, oh, I shouldn't have done that one, about, well, they're pine trees, aren't they? Scots pine, it's about a 5-foot tree. Well, that's not going to be too much, that's going to be like £25–30 each. Not 1,000 for that many. That's quite a lot of traffic over there too. I think 2 cement mixers might have crashed into each other. We can go and take a look. These trees I'm sure will be used again in the future. If I can unload, if I can't unload, I'll just use them up. Okay, I can't unload, so where can I put these trees? How annoying. I'll just put them here. It's not like we have to turn around on the headland here, because it's all one directional. We'll always be going up the field instead of across the field. But I think that is quite a nice way of adapting a field, and it's also a very inspirational way of going about doing forestry and arable crops at the same time, in the same place. This is done in real life as well. It's not that common, it's quite rare, but it is definitely one way of doing it. And I did demonstrate this in FS15 and possibly in 17 as well. And actually, one map which definitely does focus on this is Mercury Farms by Alien Jim. That is interesting. It's already all laid out for you. So, yeah, good to see it happening on different mod maps as well. So, just disposing of these final 5. I didn't even want to buy these final 5, I just had to. I don't really want to put a tree inside a tree. Yes, that is really annoying. Maybe they want some over the road. The council. Here, have a tree, it's free. They liked it, I think. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's leased, that's going to be returned. And that is the agroforestry field completed. As soon as it does start to grow, especially the grass, it's all going to become clear as to how well I did. Obviously chainsaw was on GPS, I was on GPS, but I didn't set it up the same, so I might have been a little bit off course. It will all become clear very soon. Oh yeah, and this is what the map looks like. I don't know why some of the grass lines are a little bit wider, no idea, but they just are. A slight change of plan. I think it's probably because of how long that took, but yeah, we've got the barley field, which is a very big field. The first half is going to be harvested with a combine, or 2 combines, and the second half is going to be done as the whole crop, which will be in the next episode. So if we can just get this done now, then it means the next episode can be free for doing all the whole crop harvesting. Basically, with whole crop, it all goes into the silage pit for fermentation, and we can then use that to either sell or give to the cows, because they do require their feed. So I would say this section here is going to be the whole crop, so this section down here is going to be harvested with the combines. So let's just get this all in action. More straw, and you might be interested in hearing that yes, the straw stack, which some people have said move, is going to be staying. That's actually where all of the straw is going to be held. We're going to hold it all there, so it saves taking up yard space really, because we have so many machines, and it's always going to grow the amount of machines that we have. So leaving them in that field is going to be the best way of doing it. So I would say going around the same way as chainsaw is going to be the easiest. That way we can't really clash. This isn't going to take very long at all, because we're leaving all of that. That's all for whole crop. This is going to be harvested just for selling, because the cows don't require barley, but they do require straw, so it's good. Oh yeah, and this is also the New Holland Combine, the CR980, which is available on ModHub. It was recently released. Somebody asked me to rebrand it. We'll probably rebrand it in a future episode. I think it was like a Tiger edition or something. It did look good, but yes, obviously I've gone for this spec at the moment. I'll change it in the future, so don't worry, you'll see everything. Right then, let's crack on. Okay, so I'm just going to take the lorry over to chainsaw, because I think he's very close to full, and then I'm going to continue. This trailer isn't actually compatible with the lorry, with the tractor unit. It does contact it, which means you can't really turn very well. Apparently there is a much better one, so we're going to get that probably for the next episode. Right, we might be unloading on the move, although he is looking very, very full. Probably best if we do unload now. There we go. Yeah, so we've just got that very small section left to do, not too much work. I think the Lexian's tank is something like 18,000 litres. The one over there is more like 9, or I suppose it could be anywhere between 9 and 12, but it's nowhere near as big. Now, despite us only having £51,000, we actually do still have all of the grain in storage from the previous field, and we have all of this. So we actually really do have a lot of potential money. Let's just try and get out of the way. There we go. So that is 97% full, but let's just get the field finished first. I have just enabled GPS, so that's why everything is going very smoothly. And I'm not missing anything at all. Also, I don't know if it's actually shown up in the video yet, but when it bings, it's basically when we're getting to a certain fill point, so like 25%, 50%, and that is a mod. It's a very, very good mod. It is the mod which basically allows you to, I think it's called Combine Warning mod or something like that. It's on ModHub. It's a very, very good mod to have though, because it's very useful for if you're in multiplayer, because it puts your beacons on automatically when it gets to about 70 or 80% full. It might bing when we hit 25%. Close. Right. So yeah, this is the end. We are going to have to return, but the yard is literally just across the road there. I think that's yielded quite well, and in the future it's only going to get much better because we have all the manure, and now we have the cows. They're going to be producing manure as well, so it's not even going to cost us anything. We'll have to buy the first bit, but after that it's going to be free. Well, one thing you've got to admit is it does look neat when you use GPS. Everything is very straight. Oh, combine in front, almost crashed into it. Right, I think we're both wanting the trailer. The Lexian's empty, and I'm empty. Good. So I'm just going to very, very quickly pack things up, take this back over to the yard, and I think that'll be it for this episode. So yeah, next time, whole crop harvest. There's always one. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed the episode. And oh look, it actually has started to grow over there, so we can see exactly what's happened. I really hope my trees are in a good place. Now, there's not much space for these combine harvesters, so we're just sort of taking the approach of leaving them in any accessible area, anywhere which isn't blocking anything else in. So here is fine, just there. We really should find a better place for them, but there just isn't anywhere suitable for such big machines. Could possibly create a new area, but anyway, yes, the important thing is that my trees are in the right place, so let's see if they are. Oh yes, perfect, look at that. I thought this one in particular was way off, but actually, oh, that one's a little bit off. That one's dead on the middle. Perfect. Okay, and obviously that was my other line of trees. So that's good. That's very, very good. I'm so pleased. I thought the grass would grow before the crop did, but anyway, not to worry. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will be back on Monday with the next episode. Until then, though, thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Bye for now.